Hello. Thought I'd come on just a few seconds early from today just to check that the tech was all working. It says I'm live. Is anyone there? Yep, a couple of people. Hello. Just trying to get the page up on my mobile as well so that I can see things at the same time. But hi. Sometimes there can be a bit of a delay. Hello, good afternoon. It's Friday. Again, goes so quickly. People joining us. I think this is quite a good time, isn't it? Lunch break. I quite often listen to webinars while having a break at my desk as well. So my name is Luann Wise. I am your host for this lunchtime Facebook Live. I have a slide deck on today's topic. Let me just check. Yep, this works. Today I am talking about telling your business story using Instagram. So this all seems to be set up, working quite nicely. So I'd come on just a few seconds. There we go. I'm really happy to take questions as we go through. If you want to pop any comments on or just say hello or save questions till the end, it's completely up to you. Thank you if you are joining this session live on Friday lunchtime, and thank you if you're watching this as a recording. So, telling your story on Instagram. There's another Facebook trainer just joined us. Hello, Janet. So hopefully if there's any questions, then you can help me with those as well, because sometimes they can come through thick and fast on these Facebook Lives. So you can see me today because I've managed to dual screen and set up. I'm using an app called StreamYard for this live, which allows you to have guests on there and to share your screen and have setup. So if anyone's doing lives, I would recommend this as a tool. My name is Luann Wise. I am a marketer. I'm a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Marketing. I'm really proud to be one of Enterprise Nation's She Means Business trainers for Facebook and Instagram. Just to give you some background, on a day-to-day basis, I do run a marketing consultancy. I help clients with their marketing planning, offer them advice, keep them on track. Some of my clients will politely say that I am a gentle nag to help them get tasks done and keep things on track. I'm also a course instructor for LinkedIn Learning, as well as training on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter topics as well. So the session today, there is some slides. Some of this is kind of back to basics Instagram, but I always think it's good to have a back to basics. If you just happen to nod along and know that you're doing everything right, then it never hurts to have a refresher and that reinforcement, but hopefully there'll be a few tips in here as well. So 3 things for today. We're going to talk through building your business on Instagram. We're going to be talking about finding people who care about what you do, because that's actually what's really important, isn't it? That we can communicate, we can post lovely pictures on any social media platform, post things, but actually we want to be talking to people. We want to be talking to people who care about what we do, and hopefully at some point spend some money and buy products and services, or perhaps even recommend us if we're not right for them. And that's relevant right now. Perhaps you're in a situation where your business might be closed or restricted. Stay in front of people. People do still care about what you do, and when they're able to, they will come back and buy from you. We're also going to talk about showcasing your business's unique personality. Whether your business is you, whether your business is a team of people behind a big logo, brand, offices, premises, whichever part of that scale you're on, your business does have a personality and it is unique to you. And what we want to do on Instagram to tell our story is to bring that personality out. So, Instagram. Hopefully you are familiar with Instagram. It is a global community of more than 1 billion people, and its mission is about bringing you closer to people and the things you love. And of course, supporting businesses is a huge part of that. We do love businesses too. It's part of our world. Navigating the Instagram app, if you're using this already or you're not even familiar with Instagram, I think it's intuitive. I think it's relatively easy to use. I'm just checking my live stream because I can see that the live is a slight delay on what I see on my screen. So I'll just wait for it to catch up. Okay, so you have 4 parts to Instagram. You have your profile, the profile section that you set up that has a nice photo of your business in a circle. You have a name, a username for Instagram. Hopefully you will use something that is relatively sensible and straightforward, easy for people to remember if they want to tag you in or mention it. You have the feed, which is sometimes called the grid, which is this bottom part of the screen where when you post pictures, that's what users will scroll through as and when they access the app. You also have something on Instagram called stories. Now, if the avatar, the circle profile picture on here was flashing, that would mean that this account had posted a story. If you also want to see stories, when you first go into your Instagram app and on the home screen, you will see circles along the top of your screen, and that is stories. Stories are great for a couple of reasons. One, as soon as you post a story, it goes into that top section of the app's homepage and people can see it. So it's a really good way to get in front of people, but also they disappear after 24 hours. So they perhaps don't need to be quite so considered if you like your Instagram feed, the grid, to look nice and neat or planned out, but they can also be very much in the moment, behind the scenes activity as well. So to tell your business story, you do need to think about both the feed, the grid, and adding some stories in to stay in front of people and do that raw behind the scenes activity as well. People do both on Instagram. You also have the Explore tab, the magnifying glass at the bottom. Instagram is a great place to find things, be inspired. If you have a look at your own Explore tab, there'll be examples in there that Instagram is creating for you, depending on what you've engaged with before and what you've told the app you like by the things that you click on and the things that you post. You can also search in there for businesses, products, ideas, etc. So 4 key parts to the app. Just waiting for the screen to catch up. Takes a few seconds longer to come through on a mobile than on my screen, but Instagram, as I've already said, is about bringing people closer to the things that they love. What's been interesting, some data I've looked at through coronavirus crisis and how people are using social media, is that they tend to be using, according to some data, Facebook for news and information, but going to Instagram to kind of get away from it all, and to go back into their worlds of business stories, products that they love and they want to be inspired by. So this is why you can use it to share your business story. This is how you connect with the people that care about what you do. And this is where you can communicate with both your customers and other businesses as well. It's all about the visuals, but you don't need to worry. You don't need to be a great photographer, artist to use Instagram. Of course, it's perfect platform if you are a creative or a photographer, but this is just about telling your business story. So don't worry if you think that images are not necessarily your thing. On Instagram, some stats here, 83% of people use Instagram to discover new products and services. 81% of Instagram users are using it to research. So I think we have to really consider that people do use social media as a research tool to look for new products, services, be inspired, things to buy, particularly when we haven't been able to go out to shops. So this is quite important, that people are searching for you and what you offer them. And people are using Instagram as well to decide whether to buy a product or service. They are unlikely to buy something just of one image. They are building up a picture and a story about your business over time as you post. So, using the power of Instagram, finding people who care about what you do. So you need to tell people a story. You need to get across your business's personality. When you're thinking about this, I would say don't overthink it. I think this does come naturally when you are setting up your business, or perhaps you are thinking of setting up a new business. But just think about your personality and what do you want to get across? What do you want people to think and feel when they see those posts in the feed and as well as in the stories? What do you want them to kind of take away about your business, about your products or services, or just the way that you kind of talk about your products and services as well? If your business had a personality, how would you describe it? Would you be serious? Would you be straight to the point and matter of fact? Would you be fun? Would you be quirky? Think about the same way that you may describe your best friend. How would you describe the personality of your business? And when you know that, and the characteristics behind it as well, what you want people to come away with when they look at your content and your stories, you know, just have a think about how they're going to resonate. Does that match your audience? Does your story make people want to listen to it and to come back and be part of the story as well? So let's just take a quick step back to setting up your account on Instagram before we dive into more examples. The most important thing about using Instagram for your business is that you do set it up as a business account. So it's relatively easy once you've downloaded the app onto your mobile phone to go through the steps of creating your account, setting it up, add account, here we go, create your account. I love these interactive slide decks. Think about what kind of business you are as you're setting it up. Don't worry, you can switch these things about, but make sure that you've switched your account to be a business account. And the main difference between just a personal account and a business account on Instagram is that you get access to insights. You get access to data about your audience and about activity. So do switch it. To do that, you will need to connect it to a Facebook business page. So you'd need to have set your Facebook business page up first. Enter all the information that Instagram is asking you to do about your business. Make sure that you have a great photo. It appears quite small, so make sure it's really clear. A clear name for your business, a description, which can be 150 characters. You may or may not decide to use emojis in that description. Some people do. Do include a link to your business as well, a website or other page on the web, and then your account will be complete. Some tips for this is to make sure that your handle, as I've said earlier, is simple and memorable. It's not overly complicated if you want people to be finding it and searching for you. That you do brand it if you can. If it's a personal account, it will be a photo of you. If not, if it's a business account, it may be your logo, it may be the outside of a building. Just something that makes sure it's recognizable when people come across it. That bio, I said, the 150 characters and a link to your website. Now, a trick here is often you may want to link to more than one page on the web. And that is quite tricky with Instagram because you can only have one link in the bio. I and many others use a tool called Linktree. I'm going to post that in the comments. A website called Linktree, and that means that you can set up an account on Linktree and have multiple links from that. So if you have pages such as an email newsletter sign up, a competition page, something like that, you can use Linktree to have multiple links off that one link that you put into your bio. So that's often really helpful to do that. Don't forget to include contact details for your business, whether that's your website page, email address, phone number. You want people to get in touch with you. Finding, following, and saving posts. We said that Instagram is the place for you to go to find things that you love. So you can search, you can find friends, topics, brands using the search. You can follow accounts of the things that matter to you. And you can save posts as well. That handy hand will pop up on your screen in a second. Slightly behind mine. You can save posts that you like to come back to later. So I'm sharing with you a few things in the way that you can use this as a user, but also from a business point of view, because I think when you're using social media tools to promote your business, it's important to be a user of these tools as well, so that you kind of understand the nature of the conversation and how they work. You want to get discovered. So sharing your unique story, as we said earlier, describing your business's personality, your characteristics, your tone of voice will come across on Instagram. That's what you want to be doing. And one of the key ways to do that is be consistent. Be consistent with how your account looks and feels. Here's some examples. I'm just going to wait a second for those to load up on your live screen, because I can see that there's still a short delay between my screen and the streaming. So being planned on your grid on the feed is entirely up to you. You don't need to do this, but some accounts like to do that. Here's 3 examples that I love. I love Martha Brooke London stationery. She uses pink in all of her images. There is always this element of colour that appears through. I know when I'm scrolling that it's going to be a post from Martha Brooke London when I see something that has that shade of pink. We can also see that there is kind of a common theme to how the photos are taken, that it's not confusing by different angles and things like that. So that's one account that I particularly love. The one in the middle, I wanted to share with you as an example of an account that I do work on. I'm part of their social media team for Dishmatic. It's a household cleaning product. And we took the decision to have quite a planned grid in terms of our design and our layout, and also to go for a format that is text, photo, text, photo, text, photo, just to allow us flexibility, to allow us to include photos that are provided by our customers. They often send photos in that we can share, or we have our own stock library that we can share and promote. But we just decided with our content plan that a grid like this with a mixture of text and photos would work well for us, because it is important that you can manage this layout and this consistent look and feel as well. And the one on the right I particularly love. If anyone's in Gloucestershire and came to an event I hosted back when we could host events, you'll have met Emma from the Silver Spot. She makes ceramic mugs. She has built her business entirely over the last 12 months using Instagram. She has built her audience, I think it's well over 10,000 now. She hit that earlier in the year organically without paying to use Instagram in any way. And she just narrates what she's doing in her business. She posts pictures as she starts to make new mugs, as the mugs are fired, as they come out of the kiln, as she's updating her shop. She'll occasionally include photos of herself in there so we get to know her. And if you just read the comments that she puts, she brings these mugs to life with names and talks about them and how each one's different and unique. And you just feel that you're part of Emma's business story. And I must say, she releases these mugs for sale every month, and they're doing really well. So if if you think that you will struggle to have photos because you almost just have one product, that's what Emma has. So please do take a look and just see how she does that. And she will say, if you ever get to speak to her, that she just talks on Instagram as if she's talking to her friends, as if she is talking to a community of people that love her products as much as she does, and it comes across. So the importance of that, it's just one word coming up on the next screen. It's about being authentic. You have to be real and true to yourself when you're building a business, when you're promoting a business, and when you're using a tool like Instagram to really go behind the scenes of your business and share that. So, Instagram stories. This part of Instagram that appears along the top of your page, has the word stories in there. They disappear after 24 hours. And they're great. They're real time, they're unfiltered, they're playful, they can be static images, you can cover them in emojis, you can add music, you can make them interactive with polls. You can do so much with Instagram stories. You can also add video to them as well. They have built-in creative tools. Just show you some of them right here. There are stickers on there. New stickers are being added all the time. You may have noticed over the last few weeks that Instagram has specifically added stories for stay home and thank you hour to encourage people to post what they've been doing and how they're staying safe during lockdown. There are filters, the playful side of Instagram, perhaps some features that were borrowed from Snapchat, but they are now common across many social media platforms. You can mention other users on your Instagram stories and that will notify them. So I did an Instagram story this morning with a screenshot of what I'd be talking about right now. I mentioned in Enterprise Nation, they would have seen that and they can share it. So it's great to mention other people, use hashtags, and there's ways to make it interactive. Ask your audience questions, do polls. When people see questions on social media, they almost can't help themselves get involved with them. And stories are really useful to drive the goals of your business, because if we go back to this telling stories about your business, why it's so important, then how can you use this 24-hour feature? Well, you can use it to promote. You can run sales and promotions. You can add a countdown sticker to it as well. So if you have time-specific sales and promotions, stories are a great place to go. If you're launching new products, show the products arriving, show the products being opened, show behind the scenes preparation. Go exclusive on your stories. Show your audience, your followers, something that's happening. They could also be great for tutorials, behind the scenes, how to use products, how to apply makeup, how to cook. Lots of exercise tutorials are going on during lockdown as well. But absolutely behind the scenes, what you're doing, what you're working on. Don't worry if you don't think it's overly exciting. People do just like this glimpse into other people's worlds. Take a picture of your screen, take a picture of your desk, what you're working on and what you're doing, the books you're reading. People really do like that kind of content. They want to get to know you. So you need to plan your posts in advance, whether it's as planned as that grid, those grid examples I showed you earlier, or just that you've thought about your story and what you want to be getting across to people when they have a look at your Instagram account. And planning your posts in terms of what you want people to think, feel and do, but also who you want to include in your posts, what you want to be telling people about. When do you need to tell people this information? And how are you going to kind of illustrate those examples? A post is relatively simple to do. If you're new to Instagram, don't worry about it. It's clicking that plus in the center at the bottom of your app. You will then be able to add a photo from your camera roll, and then it's about adding a caption. Now, don't worry if you're not a great communicator or a great writer. You don't need to write loads when it comes to a post. It's entirely up to you whether you write just a sentence description or whether you want to use it more of a blog to add more information. But just think about when you're writing a caption to go with your post, your image, tell a story. Tell people why you're sharing it. Tell people what you were doing in that image. It doesn't have to be just photos. It can be graphics as well. As you saw on the Dishmatic example, we create a lot of graphics in a tool called Canva. So it doesn't all need to be photos. In your caption, you can use emojis if you like to, if it's relevant to your business. And you can list products, you can ask questions, you can tag people. But most importantly as well, think about hashtags. Hashtags being the language of social media platforms. Hashtags are the way to get found, and hashtags are the way that people will find your content when they're searching. So you need to include those on your posts. You can include up to 30 hashtags on an Instagram post. I would say don't overthink it too much. Just try and naturally describe what's in that picture with some hashtags. There are tools that you can use to help you find hashtags. One of the first things that I would actually do would be to look at other people's photos, other people's businesses, perhaps my competitors, and see what hashtags they're using. Let someone else do the work for you if you can. Otherwise, I tend to use an app called Tagomatic. It's a mobile app. It's free. I will put in one word about my topic, and then it will get me other examples. And just to bring this back to something I said at the beginning around the benefits of a business account. A business account, when you've upgraded, you will have insights, which is just part of the settings. If you go down to the bottom right-hand corner and then you go up a bit to access your settings, you will be able to see which content people are liking the most. Remember now that Instagram has changed it, so only you should be seeing the number of likes on your post. Other people will see there's likes, but they won't see the numbers in the same way that you do. You'll also be able to see within those insights the times of day that your audience are online, the days of the week, their gender and their age. So you could start to post more in line with that. When you have feedback on your posts, that will give you an idea of what you can post more of, perhaps less of, test things out. And I'm sure it'll be a question, so I will answer it already. How many times a day to post? The best advice from me is to be consistent. Consistent is what works for you and your business. It's much better to show up consistently than do a training course and be really enthusiastic and post for the rest of the week and then not do it again. So just be consistent with something that works for you and your business and your time. But my best advice would be 3 to 5 posts a week on the grid and 3 to 5 posts a week on stories. So the key points from this session, thank you for listening. At lunchtime, it's great to see so many of you there and saying hello. Find people who are interested in your business. So think about your customers and appeal to them. Share your business's unique personality, because you do have one, with photos and videos. Think about the captions that you want to write when you're posting. What do you want people to know? Tell them just simply why you're sharing it and include hashtags. And then use the insights that you have within your own account. Your own data is what will give you the answers that are most relevant to your own business. Thank you for listening. If there's any questions, please do add them. I will keep an eye on this post on the Enterprise Nation page for the next couple of days if you're watching it on replay and have questions afterwards. There is more resources if you need them. There are plenty of resources. If you have Q&A, then I always encourage to go straight to the help platforms, the help sections of the platform. Facebook, this is one of the deck that is available as part of Facebook Blueprint. Their online learning courses are available. Enterprise Nation, the She Means Business page. There's lots of these Facebook Lives going on and content from the team of trainers, which I'm really proud to be one. And then there is resources on my own website as well, which is luannwise.co.uk. You can find me on social media with a unique name. I'm lucky to have the handles @luannwise. And if you want to keep up to date with all the changes that happen on social media, on my website, you'll find a sign up to my weekly email newsletter where I do a roundup of everything that's happening on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Question. Is it better to include your hashtags within the post or as a comment? There are always lots of best practices and ideas around use of social media. And I think it's very often a balance of your time and what works best. There is research on this and it's come out, the ones I've read, no hard and fast answer for either way. I personally post in the comment for a couple of reasons. One is that I quite often schedule posts to my grid. I use a tool called Planoly for that, and I can schedule the hashtags in the comments very easily. I also personally like to put it in the comments because I can edit them. Sorry, in the post, I put my hashtags in the post because I can schedule and edit them. If I've put things on schedule, I may not remember to go back to the comments straight away to add the hashtag. So the research has shown it doesn't really matter. Some people don't like to put them in the post because they think it looks messier. I don't think it makes a huge difference, but for me, it's about my time, so I put them in the post. Any other questions? Just scrolling through. I think I got away really lightly today. So thank you very much for watching. As I said, if you've got questions afterwards, you can find me on my website or social media, but I will also keep an eye on this post. Thank you.